Hey guys, my name is Liza or Cafe of Misery, and today I'm going to be talking about a deck that I really like out of Divine's Booster 7. I'm not going to call it good, but I think it's a deck worth keeping in mind because it is one that we know is going to continue to get support. And that would be the cover of the set, the Keeper of the Moongate, Veissrugr. This is a brand gate deck that has a lot of potential deck filtering, but so far with the reveals we have going forward through set 8, isn't showing that it's fully living up to its promise. But let's go ahead and go through it, talk about the current set 7 build. Well, first off, regular brand gate starter. I love this little rabbit. Going into the Follower of the Moon Fresno, which does actually need to ride over the Envoy of the Moon. And when he does, you reveal the Keeper of the Moon Veissrugr. You search your deck or hand for a Moongate. Shuffle your deck if you put from deck, and if you put from hand, you get to draw a card. What is the Moongate though? The Moongate is a grade 1 set order that you can only have one of in the deck. And for a cost of Energy Blast 3 and resting it, you can check the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose a Mythich with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, or call it. But if you're on Veissrugr, instead of choosing 1, you choose to reveal 3. 1 gets called and the other 2 go into your order zone. The grade 2 is the Vassal of the Moon, Ramsten, who, when he rides up from Fresno, you can check the top 7 cards of your deck, pick 2 Mythich cards from the top 7 cards, and put them to the order zone. And of course, the grade 3, Keeper of the Moon, Veissrugr, who has a lot of effects. First one being an act skill that for 2 soul, you get to activate the act ability of your Moongate again without paying cost. And on attack skill for a single counterblast to call 2 Mythich cards from your order zone to the same column, and the entire front row gets 5k. And when your Mythich unit is put on Guardian by putting a Mythich from drop onto the bottom of the deck, the unit gets an additional 5k shield. So it also has a bit of defense too. Has really good aggression with the deck thinning. But has really good aggression with the deck thinning, really good defense with the Mythiches. But let's go ahead and get into the rest of the main deck. First off, 3 Persona Rides. And then 3 copies of Eleft Golmani, which is an order card that can be played with a single counterblast. And it gives your Vanguard with Veissrugr in the name the skill that all of your Mythich cards get 5k, and all of your Mythich cards that were called by a card skill this turn get an additional 5k. So Mythich in general gain 5, and then anything that was called that turn by an effect gain 10. All of that, let's go ahead and get into the grade 2s, which is the bulk of our Mythiches. I'm on 4 copies of the first Mythich, Rosnir, who on place, as long as your Vanguard has Veissrugr in its card name, until the end of the turn when it will attack, it gets to choose a front row rearguard circle and attacks both of the Vanguard and that rearguard circle at once. And on attack, it gets 5k as long as you have a Moongate in the order zone, and for either a counterblast or 3 energy, you get to draw a card. You may be noticing that to maximize your turn, you're immediately using up 3 counterblast. That is one of the biggest problems with the deck. Along with that, for other grade 2s, we are on 15 copies of Crowwing Mythich Veissrugr, who, as long as you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Veissrugr, it gets boost, and you can play up to 16 of them in a deck. Why am I on 15? Mainly to make room for the other booster of the deck, the 4 copies of Detonation Monster Bubble Mine, who at the end of the battle boosts, as long as you have a set order, goes to soul to countercharge. You need the soul generation because Veissrugr's ability to activate the Moongate twice is in fact a Soul Blast 2, and you need the countercharging because as immediately here you have 3 counterblasts with Efult, Veissrugr, and Rosnir. And mild spoiler for set 8, that doesn't get better. You get another counterblast, and then another order that turns the cost of a Mythich down to 0 counterblast, but you're losing out on using a Float for the power. I'm also on 4 perfect guards. And then for triggers, I'm on 7 criticals. Soul criticals may come up if you're seeing really bad hands, you're not hitting anything to build up soul. 4 of the 20k guard fronts. These definitely can be the soul fronts instead, and you would not be seeing anything but plussing. I like the extra guard on them because it just stacks up more with the 5 million birds you're going to be throwing to guard and bottom decking. 4 regular heal triggers. And for OT, I'm on the Brancate OT, which, when drove check, doubles the power and crit of all front row units. Note that this thing changed how boost works. So let's go ahead and actually talk about the deck. This is a really cool deck. This is a deck that has a lot going for it. It deck thins really efficiently overall. Your Moongate, your Moongate's pulling 3 cards every turn on its own once you are on grade 3. 6 cards including pardon me. I have a little bit of a cold as I'm recording this, so sorry if my voice is off. 6 cards at maximum. With Veissrugr too, you have 10k boosters innately, and they're honestly not bad. They're 10k guardians too, because you will have enough in drop. You can discard any of the birds for ride. You don't need to worry too much about it. But because of that, because the deck is so reliant on the Mythich names, you don't have a lot of flexibility. That's one of the biggest issues. You don't have a lot of flexibility with this deck list. You do not have, like, any other points you really get to put into it unless you want to pull back on the gimmick of the deck, which does mean you won't be activating Veissrugr for the 4th attack nearly as often. And again, counter energy blast, but you're always going to be using your energy for the Moongate. Counterblast. It's counterblast to call. It's a lot of counterblast. And the second Mythich, the dragon one coming out in set 8, that is also a counterblast. Yeah, it's your 5th attack. It can attack from the back row, but you are losing. You don't really have the resources to make use of it. We know going forward, set 10, set 11, in one of those sets we should be seeing more support, and I'm really praying that the deck does see the upgrades it needs. But I will admit, I'm not very hopeful. But that is my list. Tell me what you think of the deck. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz. And I will see y'all next time. Ciao.